Come on. Even during an ASMR stream, I can't go without accidentally muting. Like, I thought I tested it earlier, it was working, and then I actually get into it, and I'm still muted. Like, the button doesn't work. I don't know why sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. It's very strange, very, very weird little phenomenon. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna be over here today because I'm not gonna be... Oh, I gotta do a sippy. I got myself some warm tea. It actually might still be a little bit hot right now, so I might have to default to water for a little bit.
Egg.
Yeah, that's still pretty warm. Oh, oh dear.
Hello boss, have a nice stream and remember to hydrate and think of girls.
I think I should probably mute that one, huh? That's a little loud. Yeah, I forgot that one. Which one is it? I'm not sure which one this even is. Well, why didn't you, Jackie? You should have suggested it, then I would have known. Let's see. Is it this one? No, that's not it. No, not that one. No. Maybe this one? Yeah, okay, this is the one. Okay, there we go. Turn those two off. Alright, should be good now. If anybody was still waiting to subscribe to the channel, then now might be a good time to test it out if you want to. But ideal. Well, okay, yeah, that's also one that I forgot. Thank you. Thank you so much for the donation, of course, Kira Cat. Well, okay. It's my first time. There's bound to be a few hiccups here and there. Let's see. Let me get the donation first, which is... Where is that one? Here? Yes. Turn that one off.
Egg.
Okay, so if you donate money now, there should not be a sound effect to that, only a visual. As for the other one, though...
Egg.
I'm a little confused. I'm not sure where that's even coming from. Is it this one? No, that one's monitor off, so that can't be it. I'm gonna have to do it like this. Okay, let's see. Maybe it's this one. I don't know if I can test it out myself, so maybe nobody subscribes anymore, and if anyone does, then let's hope that that it worked, that I managed to turn it off. But again, I don't really know. No throne alerts to worry about. Oh, Kirika, did you find me something on Throne? Hold on, let me just take a quick look. Oh yeah, so you did. Thank you very much. And good. So that one works. We don't have that alert sound now. Just wait for the break to subscribe. Yeah, just wait for the break and then it'll be fine. I guess, probably. You found the cheapest throne option. Well, thank you for helping me test. You didn't have to. But good. Thank you. Oh. Ha ha ha. Thank you. Thank you very much for the heads up there. I'm back into voice. So, hopefully we are done with all of those nasty, nasty loud sounds, and we can just only have the nice, gentle sounds and voice and such. So, this is my first ASMR stream. I've never done one of these before, and I also have never really engaged with ASMR stuff. It's quite similar to me becoming a VTuber, really, where prior to doing it myself, I didn't really have much experience with it. I didn't know any VTubers, and I didn't listen to any ASMR. There was one VTuber that I had seen at some point, which was Kizuna Ai, or whatever her name is, and I'd only listened to one bit of ASMR, which was my sister finding out about the phenomenon of ASMR roleplay recordings as like a thing that was on the rise. It was specifically about getting a haircut at an Italian hair saloon. So there were two brothers. I think their names were just Mario and Luigi, who gave you a haircut, and so it was like directional or stereo audio or whatever, surround sound. And that was my only experience with ASMR. I just thought like, oh, that's fun. I'm like 14 or something. And with VTubing, at some point as a streamer, I said I want more of a connection, more interactivity with my viewers. But I'm not comfortable enough to be on stream or screen rather. So my friend said to me like, "Oh, you should do VTubing. You would do really well with that because you're a very cartoonish person already, and you're a character designer." And I said, "Okay." So I became a VTuber. And similarly, in this case, for a while I was just like, gosh, I want to have a way to like really focus on my voice, to practice my voice and get better again, because I haven't gotten better with my voice in a very long time, as I've talked about often if you know my other streams. And then my friends started saying like, oh, you would do great at ASMR. I would like sometimes do like a little bit of a joke ASMR, for example, and people were like, oh, you should absolutely do ASMR. I would love it if you did ASMR. So I thought like, you know what? Having a full stream where the entire time I'm really focusing on my voice would actually be perfect. So here we are, we're doing ASMR. People want it. I think there's a merit to doing it. So should be perfect, right? We're here now. But yeah, like I said, I have no real experience with ASMR. I know that it's quiet, gentle, relaxing, For this purpose, I put together a specific ASMR friendly music playlist to put on the countdown and the break screen. I hope you guys enjoyed that. There were, of course, a few songs that are also in my regular chill chatting playlist, because there is obviously some overlap. But there's also a lot of new stuff. And I've got this white noise generator from mynoise.com whitenoise.com. Again, if you've watched my other streams, you might have heard me mention White Noise again. It's a wonderful website about maintained by someone who goes around the world and takes audio samples from all kinds of environments and machines and synthesizers and animals and little babbling brooks and such, and then puts them together in these white noise generators. They're very nice. You can customize them. Like, oh, I want I want some more birds in my forest walk, and I actually don't want my forest walk to be a walk at all. So let's take the footsteps down. You know, it's perfect. It's wonderful. It's a one-time purchase to get the full library. There's an app. I use it every night. I put on like some rainforest. That is to say, rain in a forest, not a rainforest, sounds, and I had to put on a timer for an hour, and I'm out like a light, like some of you might be during this stream, because that's what ASMR is good at, right? I guess when I say that I don't have experience with ASMR, if I listen to white noise generators, I guess that kind of counts as ASMR, right? It's just like, I'm not very experienced with ASMR where someone talks to you or something like that, you know? Does that count? Does white noise count as ASMR? I don't know if we hear. Oh no, you don't hear the white noise. Did I not turn it on? I'm so sorry. I forgot to turn on Firefox. Oh darn. Well, here it is now. Now you guys get to listen to it. Isn't that nice? It felt like a fitting little soundscape for a digital entity like myself. I'd say white noise is sort of proto ASMR. Ooh, that's cool. Well, that's very fitting with the fact of me being like a low poly retro kind of VTuber model as well, right? Kind of perfect if you think about it. Unlikely I'll fall asleep. I'm doing Monster Hunter while I listen. That's a very odd little combination there. I imagine you using like the insect glaive or the dual blades and just swooshing. Oh yeah, I should do the eggs. Swooshing past all the attacks and a complete zen state and stuff. Imagine if you turn off the in-game music and put the monster sound really low as well. So you're in your own little world. These monsters can't even touch you. Team Trickstar naps once again. Well, I hope you enjoy your nap. I've listened to ASMR while playing TF2 before. It's fun. This is a very funny concept to me, and now I kind of feel like I should try it out. Just like the most calming soundscape while you play some violent video game. Very cute. But yes, as you can also hear, I've got new ASMR specific alert sound effects. Obviously not for the ones that we heard earlier. I'm gonna maybe have to look into that later if I make ASMR a more frequent thing. There was one just now. So for egg, we have me saying egg, and for the other ones, we've got me going. Give me just a moment. I don't know if the mic was even picking that up, but basically, it's just a little sound I'm making with my lips, which sounds very effectively like a little notification sound, don't you think? I think it's pretty nice. And I'm not straying from the being me making gentle little mouth sounds part of the ASMR, because those are also me, you know? I use Switchblade, Sword and Shield, Longsword and Charge Blade, but yeah, the Zen State and lowered volume. Well, Charge Blade, I think, out of those would be pretty the most Zen, I feel, maybe, or maybe not. Maybe Longsword is kind of the most intense of all of them, if I think about it. Anyway, let's make sure we do the redeems. So, I'm gonna do another sippy. Still quite hot. I'll do a little stretchy. Now, for the stretchy, Should I try to tone down my noises? Because I feel like they might be a little bit conflicting. Be a little bit conflicting with the ASMR. But I don't know. You guys let me know while I do the eggs, which we'll do without a special song this time. So the first egg comes to us from, oh, just a moment, from /OLantern. Then we've got Esteemed Jester, KQ Gray, Goodnight Fira, Kira Cat, Just Some Trans Girl. Oh, hello hand, that's wrong. Vex Fidel,
Egg.
Wibless, Saint Laurel, Polar Stars, Lucky MX13, Mecha Fox Girl, Big Iron Juliet, Zero Elec, Lucina of Stardust. Gosh, so many starting eggs. And starting the second egg stack is, wait, how did I get here? Malzena, Muzzle Flash, Aurora Nekai, Galefcomat, and Lil Florbo. Thank you all very much for the starting eggs. Now I have to cough just a little bit. Give me a moment. There we go. I'm surprised you didn't go with the music box intro from Yoshi's Island. That would have been cute, but I feel like it would have... I feel like it still would have hampered the vibe a little bit. It wouldn't really have fit in very well. But yeah, that's a lot of starting eggs. I guess there's quite a demand for me doing ASMR, huh? I kinda knew that, but still. I didn't know it was this much. Now let me go back up a bit. So about the stretching, give one a try now and then see how we feel. I guess we can do that. There we go. Tell me what you guys think about that. The people like your voice. The people really like your voice. You're still pretty quiet and calm about it. I think that seems alright. Okay. If there's another stretchy, then I guess I'll just do it out loud. Now, to really get into my voice, I'm going to recite the Jabberwocky from Alice Through the Looking Glass. There's a lot of little tricks to improving your voice and stuff, and one of those is to have a center phrase, something that you say specifically, something that you can quickly say in the voice you try to do. This is also a thing for voice acting. I think we all know that when someone does a snake, a solid snake voice, they go Otacon or Metal Gear or something. So it's like that. For me, it's the entirety of the Jabberwocky from Alice Through the Looking Glass. So here we go. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toes did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the burgos, and the moon rats outgrabe. Beware the Jabberwock, my girl, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jub bird, and shun the frumious Bandersnatch. She took her vorpal sword in hand, long time the manxome foe she sought. Oh no, now I forgot what it was. Oh no, I can't do it if I'm on stream. Hold on. Long time the Manx and foe she sought, so rested she by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as she stood in uffish thought, the Jabberwock, with eyes of flame, came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and snicker snick, the no. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through? Gosh, why am I struggling with this now? I don't usually do this. Let's see. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through. That is what it is, yeah. The vorpal blade went snicker snack. She left it dead, and with its head she went galumping back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish girl. O frabjous day, calloo callay, she chortled in her jurl. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toes did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the burgles, and the mome rats outgrabe. Now, those of you in the know might realize that I changed the gender of the main character in the poem. That's just for me. That's just because I like to. And yes, I do have Alice in Wonderland, like right here, with me. I have the book. Listen to those pages. That's the thing they do in ASMR, I think. So I was very easily able to check, which I did not do on purpose just to show off. I genuinely just sort of forgot because I'm also on stream, so I'm focusing on that as well. I think because you're using brain power to focus on the ASMR voice. No, yeah, exactly, that is what it is. I can vouch he does it all the time passively. I do! It's how it's a good thing to do, to, you know, center my voice, like I said. This poem has a special place in my heart because I played Alice Madness Returns at a real early age. Nice, that's good. I watched my sister play American McGee's Alice, the first game in the series, at a very young age as well. And then I played Madness Returns myself when it released. I love those games very much, flawed though they may be. Zoe, can I make a request? Could you draw your vision of a Vorpal sword? Well, Kirakat, I won't do that because to me, a Vorpal is merely a standard verb. We don't know what it means, but then we don't know what a lot of words mean in the Jabberwocky. She calls it. The poem says that she gives her Vorpal sword, which to me Vorpal probably just means like long. It's like a long sword. In the official artwork of it, the sword doesn't look like anything special. Of course, many pieces of media, such as Dungeons and Dragons, and well, even the Alice games, they personify the sword in a way. They say it is a specific sword. The Vorpal sword in Dungeons and Dragons is a magical sword that allows you to cut off heads if you roll a crit. The Vorpal blade in the Alice games is a kitchen knife. To me, Vorpal is not the Vorpal blade. The Vorpal sword is not a specific, unique, singular sword. It is a kind of sword. So to me, a Vorpal sword is just a long sword, if you will. That's what it is to me. Very fair. I just think it brings a specific image to mind, and I imagine it differs for everyone. I guess I do imagine it to be a somewhat decorated longsword, some little flourishes at the base of the blade and such, you know. But other than that, I don't think it's very special. I don't imagine it to be a very unique looking sword. After all, I feel the way the poem is told, and I might be wrong about this, but the way the poem is told to me, I always imagine that the protagonist of the story doesn't really live in a particularly special place. Certainly in a special world that has monsters, but probably in like a stone cottage or something. Nothing too unique. So I don't think that they would have too special, too expensive of a sort either, you know? But that's just me. That is, of course, the fun of the poem, is it uses nonsense words, and we never get to hear the explanation of most of them. The only thing is the first paragraph, when Alice goes to talk with Humpty Dumpty and asks him to explain the poem to her. He tells her, like, well, tell me some of it, and she recites the first verse. "'Twas brillig, and a slyly toasted gyre and gimble in the wind. All mimsy were the burgels, and the mome rats outgrabe." And it is only that part that Humpty Dumpty explains. Everything else in the poem we can only get through context and our own imagination. So I don't really blame all these other pieces of media for sensationalizing the Vorpal sword, but I personally don't see it as such. What I do think is just a little bit more annoying, but again, it's nitpicking. It doesn't really important. It doesn't really matter, and it isn't really important, is that because of media like Dungeons and Dragons having the Vorpal sword, there end up being other pieces of media that reference the Vorpal sword not as something from Alice Through the Looking Glass, but as something from whatever they're referencing, such as Dungeons and Dragons, because, of course, in Dungeons and Dragons, the Vorpal sword really has no connection to Alice in Wonderland. Obviously, the cutting off heads is in reference to, taking the Jabberwock's head, but aside from that, there's really nothing there. So when other pieces of media reference the Vorpal sword from Dungeons and Dragons, they lose that connection. And again, that's not really that important. It's sort of a modern equivalent to mythology from olden times, like how you would have the Greeks in their pantheon, and then the Romans took a lot from that they changed all the names, they changed some of the story, and then other people might reference the Roman pantheon, and it has nothing to do with the Greeks anymore. And that's okay. I mean, I don't know how okay it is. I feel like I'm on a daily basis kind of angry about the Romans for it, so maybe it's probably just autism or something. I'm blaming autism. And yeah, the whole stream is just going to be me talking about the Vorpal sword, I think. Do you guys see how there's sometimes a little black line on my face? Only sometimes. Very strange. I don't know what that's about. Oh well. Romans go home. It's a mix of autism and anger at cultural appropriation. That is what it is. I'm justified. You're right. Yay. It's unfortunate how specific details get lost over time, but it is also an unavoidable truth of the passage of time and culture. Yeah, exactly. So, I feel like I can't get too mad at it. It's simply how things are. If anything, I'm always trying to look on the positive side of things, so instead of thinking about it like, oh no, these important pieces of their culture are going lost, even though that is a shame, it's also important to look at it like there's a real beauty in the way that we transform creative works through our own interpretations and such. I mean, I was just saying earlier today, I love the Alice, the American Alice games. American McGee, hell, come on, egg. The American McGee's Alice games. I love those games, but they're also taking something that exists and changing it completely. Hi Sid, thank you very much for your egg. Also, someone remarked earlier about how some of the U-bots don't have heads. That's true. I don't know why it happens. It's been happening. I've talked about this before. It's been happening since having to rebuild the U-bots in Stream Avatars. I don't know why. It just happens, and when I try to change with the head spec, it doesn't work. Excuse me. Very strange, very odd. I like to hope that we can be a bit more enlightened nowadays with better archiving. Certainly we archive very well nowadays, even though some people, that is to say, corporations, don't want you to archive things. But remember this, chat. Whether I'm doing ASMR and being so gentle, I still think it's very important that if you like a piece of media and it's by a corporation, you acquire them. You acquire this media through perfectly legal means so that you have it in a format that they can't take from you. Don't use Spotify, buy CDs, buy off of Bandcamp. If you can buy something of itch.io instead of off Steam, you do that. If you can buy a game secondhand, you do that. If you want to watch a movie, there are ways that don't involve a streaming service, and I recommend you all take the time to learn how to do these things. Girly tells you to pirate things ASMR. ASMR Queen putting the soft in software piracy. That's very cute. I like that. A format that can be reproduced, also important. True. I thought her Sea of Thieves phase passed. You don't need the sea to be a pirate. You only need a sea drive. Padum tish. She may be soft, but she will still encourage incredible violence against the corpos. This is true, this I do. Let's see. This is so funny, right? I was picking up a package earlier today, and it was delivered to a pickup point, so I had to head on over there. On the way back it started raining, so I got home totally drenched. Just kidding, it was just drizzling a little bit, but still. I get there, and I don't know if this is common. I've never seen it before, but instead of the pickup point being like at a store or at a postal office or something, we don't really have postal offices in the Netherlands anymore anyway. They're all like integrated into like bookstores, or one of them is in like a paint store here, like not like for walls and stuff, you know? Is there a difference between, like, what do you call them? Do you call it art paint and interior paint? I don't know. There has to be a distinction, but I don't know what to call it. If anyone knows, do let me know. Anyway, so usually these pickup points are at a store or at a post office, which don't exist. But this one was just like being ran out of some family's front lawn. They've just got a little booth set up, and there was a queue on the sidewalk. It was very funny. I was just sort of hanging around with some other people waiting until it was my turn, and then they go into the house and then they come out with a package. I mean, sure, right? I mean, if that's a way to make money, I guess. I assume you make money. I have to assume you make money, right, off of that? Giving people there getting You know, being like the little middle point for packages. Maybe they're doing it for the love of the craft. Craft stores versus home stores? Well, no, like the paint. What do you call the paint? Right? How do you make a distinction between paint that you use on a canvas and paint that you use on a wall? Or the deck that you're building or something? There's gotta be something. When I worked at Lowe's, we just called it paint. Both of them? Did you call them both that? Art paint versus home paint, I suppose. I guess. But who says a home can't be art? You know? Very limiting. If you consider your home to be art, then I don't think you're allowed to buy the other one. You have to use art paint and use a little brush the whole time. Craft paint and home paint, I guess, but it's not really crafting. Dutch person, please, I'm just trying to pick up my mail. Ticket agent at Efteling. Adult tickets are still $22.50. Wait, how'd I get here? You have severely lowballed the amount that it costs to get into Efteling. It's the cheapest. It kind of depends on the day you go and the time of year and stuff, but the cheapest is like 43 euros. Completely worth it, I would say, but it is quite the price. But hey, it's a whole lot cheaper than getting into fucking Disneyland, so can I swear? Can you swear on ASMR streams? I don't think landlords think homes are art. Yeah, but landlords need to be put in the wood chipper, so their opinions don't count. They don't matter. A landlord's house is a canvas and black mold. That's funny. Landlords should become one with the land by being underground. Yeah, if they love the land so much, if they want to be lord of the land. I can't laugh. I can't laugh too much, otherwise it's bad for the ASMR. I thank you very much for following Malaius Draconia. Welcome, welcome. Egg. And lead Artemis.
Egg.
Alright, so did you guys still hear that?
Egg.
Did you guys still hear the alert or nah? Yes. Damn. Okay. No, not the egg. The subscription alert. How very annoying. Well, I tried. Oh, the egg one. Okay. Yeah, no, you heard the egg one. That's good. Not the subscription one. Okay. Okay, good. Good. That's all good then. Thank you. Well, in that case, wonderful. Space Junk, thank you very much for subscribing. You are in time for Girl Voice. I'm doing it now. But I will say, any stream with me is Girl Voice stream. It's just that this one is more specifically focused on it, you know? How are we liking the voice anyway? Do we notice a significant difference with how I usually talk? I would assume so, because it's much more quieter and gentler, but in general, does it sound better? And does it sound nice and soothing? So wait, did I get the eggs? Jill's egg. There we go, and Demona Dullahan. Did you add an A to your name? I don't remember that being Demona. That's new, I think. Thank you both. Much more soft-spoken. I like your voice always. Yay! I like your voice too. Sorry, I almost stopped doing the ASMR voice there. and went into my general "Yay, my friends, I love my friends" voice. This is nice, yeah, good. Yeah, and I'm late for your streams a lot, so I'm always late for girl voice. Well, as long as you are here for girl voice at any time, you get to enjoy it. And you get to enjoy it even more, or even the parts that you missed, or things you want to rewatch, by subscribing on YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hi! And if you're asleep right now, and my voice is influencing your dreams, wonderful dreams, meadows and flowers, and bunnies and kitties, and all your wishes coming true, and you can fly if you want to. If you have a fear of heights, you don't fly, and it's okay. And if you're falling right now, it's okay. I'll catch you and put you down safely with a pat on the head and give you a hot chalky milk, or lemonade with ice cubes, depending on the time of year. There you go. And if you're lactose intolerant, then the chocolate milk is made with soy milk, so it's okay. And if you're allergic to lemonade, it's orange juice. Okay, that should have all my bases covered, I think. No, wait, if you're vegan, then the chocolate milk is also with vegan substitute for chocolate. I know they exist, I don't really know how they make it. And thank you very much, RR Nikai, for the clip. Thank you. ASMR plus yay yippee voice is just Fluttershy voice. See, I would try it out, but I'm afraid that it would still not be good ASMR, so I'll have to wait until after the stream. From what I've heard people say fuck words in ASMR. Oh yeah, I was kidding. I'm gonna say fuck anyway, I don't give a shit. It was more kind of said as a joke and a general question like, oh, do people usually swear in ASMR? But like, I'm gonna do it regardless. And if it's not common in ASMR, then I'm a real trendsetter. I'm a real trailblazer. Is that the right word for that? I'm not sure, but I'm fucking doing it, girlies. Last night I dreamed that I was wearing feminine clothes out in public and everyone was okay with it, and I was cute. Oh, Space Chunk, that's so wonderful! Congratulations! I hope everybody here has more dreams like that. Unless you don't want to wear feminine clothing, then whatever other clothing you want. I gotta make sure I get all my bases covered in case someone is sleeping to this and then gets a dream that makes them uncomfortable. So I gotta make sure I make it comfortable for them as well. What if they have a citrus intolerance? Then it's apple juice. They have apple juice. Or soy intolerance, then they have tea. And if you're a billionaire, says Lentorp, I'm not gonna say that one because that's not very ASMR. You can go to fuck to sleep now. Really rough talking, but very gentle girl put you to sleep ASMR. I once had a lucid dream that ended with me saying, "This dream sucks, I'm waking up now," and I woke up laughing. I love a dream where there's a really comedic timing to waking up. I don't remember what I was doing in the dream, but I remember being so mad that I woke up mad. Like I woke up and was really angry still. You ever have one of those? It's very funny. The power of dreams in the palm of your hands, just like pseudoregalia. I was gonna have one of the pseudoregalia tracks in my during ASMR playlist, before I realized that I could use a white noise generator instead. And it's probably for the best because I only had about 4.5 minutes of track in this playlist. As it turns out, I don't really listen to a lot of music that is essentially ambience, you know? It's a lot of, or at least not the kind of ambience that's good for this. All I had were a couple tracks from Kitten Burst and one from Pseudo Regalia, and that was it. But I think moving over to this is the best choice. Boss, I think I'm stuck, but I'm being very calm about it. Thank you, esteemed jester. Thank you for remaining calm. Here you go. I freaked you. Nothing to worry about. Rebel ASMR harp cover. Oh yeah. Speaking of which, I've also changed the e-alarm on my phone today because obviously Rebel would be a little much. But I couldn't change it to a soothing version of Rebel. At the very least, I didn't go looking for one, but Lucina went looking for one, and I think I forgot to respond to that actually, but couldn't really find it particularly go on. So I used something that might be familiar to some of you, depending on how long you stay for my streams. That should be appropriately calming. It's no white noise generator, but still. Tasty tea. Oh, well I just took a sippy, but I guess I'll take another one. That's probably good because it's starting to become room temperature. Now for a stretchy. There we go. And Amer Aardvark, thank you for your egg. There we go. Now, the thing is, I didn't really, maybe I should have, but I didn't really prepare a list of topics to talk about. I figured we would just kind of chat, you know? Maybe if you guys had some questions or other fun conversational topics. But I do have a few books, including Alice in Wonderland, so if that is something that would be good, I can also just start reading. Have I told you guys about when I went to see the oldest or potentially oldest tree in the country last week? I know, Jackie, I know you warned me, but I don't know. I don't know. I just couldn't really think of anything good. I've got some books. I've got Alice in Wonderland. I've got a book about the origins and legends of various myths and cryptids and stuff. And then one more that I forgot. Oh yes, it's Celtic Fairy Tales. A collection of Celtic Fairy Tales. Is it the one in the Botanic Gardens? No. It's just kind of out in the woods, which I like. But I'd be curious to know about another supposedly or potentially oldest tree in the Netherlands in some Botanic Gardens. I love those. Let's see. Can you talk about girls? I can certainly do that. I love girls. I myself am very much like a femme kind of girl. Certainly with like, I think I'm just kind of femme, but I've got some butchy, you know, like, not butchy, but like footchy kind of, qualities going on here and there. Certainly I wear big boots and all kinds of spikes and stuff, so I look pretty strong. But I love my dresses and skirts and big makeup. But I love all girlies. I love to see a girly who doesn't give a shit about that at all. I love a real butch, you know? I don't see enough real butches out in the world, I gotta be honest with you. Where are they all? Where are they at? Come on. They must all be working in the scrapyard or the shipyard or the yard or something. But I come outside. I see yards. Where are they? Where are they at? Do you have any tattoos? I do not have any tattoos. I would like some tattoos. Maybe. I don't really have many ideas for tattoos though, except for one, which is to get a power sign. You know the power sign? It is a circle, you know? But then it's broken at the top and there's a little line there, you know? Intersecting the circle. That's a power sign. I want that right here on my chest right here. I feel like that would look really cool if I have like a shirt or a dress or something with kind of like a low cut and then you have like the power symbol there because I'm a machine, you know? I think that would be very cool. But tattoos cost a lot of, and also it'd be like a nice simple one to try. I don't know how much it would hurt to get a tattoo here, but it's small. It would be relatively cheap, even though it would still be expensive because tattoos are just very expensive, you know? Oh my gosh, I just thought, wait, is that possible? Would it be possible to get like a glow-in-the-dark tattoo so that when you're in the dark it like glows magenta? That would actually be so cool. I would love that. I wonder if that's an option. I've seen several. I also started with a small... I can't read that, there's people in the way. Because I haven't scrolled all the way down. Can you move? Thank you. Cost me like 50 euros. See, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And I still have to get my hair dyed as well. And that is like I've got the PC depth first, and then I gotta get a capture card, and maybe then I can get my hair dyed, you know? I want to get it black with a dark magenta gradient. It's a little cliche maybe, but I think it would look so fucking good, you know? For the longest time I was thinking I'll just get it all magenta. Well, actually for the longest time I thought that I couldn't get my hair dyed at all, because someone told me that I didn't have the right hair for it, that my hair was too weak. I would have to get it bleached and it wouldn't be able to handle bleaching. Then I was at a hair salon and they told me you can get it dyed if it's a dark enough color. And I was like, oh, but I don't know if I can get magenta then. And they said, how about this magenta? And they showed me this kind of dark magenta. It's a little darker than the dark of my hair, right? So the hair behind my head, you know, a little darker than that. And I was like, that's wonderful, that's awesome. Then I thought, wouldn't it look better to me as a goth? IRL, I'm goth. Some of you might not notice if you have not seen my book reading streams, my book nooks, or my photos or something, or various times when I mention it. I'm goth IRL, so it might be cool if I have a black and dark magenta gradient. I think it would look fucking awesome. It would be so cool. You can get it dyed no matter what if you have a good stylist and are willing to accept some hair damage. See, that's the thing. I would like to minimize the hair damage, and supposedly if I just use dark colors, then it's fine. Then it would work. So black and dark magenta, like I looked at that dark magenta and I said, this is perfect, this is so awesome. But again, costs a lot of money. I can't afford that right now. Gotta prioritize. That's what I'm doing. I'm prioritizing ASMR. Let's see. Did you replay Anna in your off time? I did. I've beaten it like 7 or 8 times by this point. I've gotten all the main routes. I won't go into specific spoilers per se right now, so don't worry too much if you haven't played it or otherwise wanting to keep things a secret. But I'll just mention like some vague things. So I've gotten all the main routes. Loved it, love it every time. It's so cool. All the writing is wonderful. All the characters you get to meet in one of the routes are fantastic. I am actually going to tell a little bit of a spoiler right now. So if you don't want to be spoiled for a Dream Barbecue, wait until I wave like this. Okay? I'm gonna start talking now. My favorite character that I met in the Purge event, aside from Tasky Maiden, of course, is was her name Mitu? I think it's Mitu, the hanged girl who was playing Hangman, or like, you know, forced to play Hangman, just lives in existence where she's playing Hangman as if it's like a fetch modus from Homestuck. I love her. She's so fun, wonderful design, really, really fun. Alright. And another thing that I really like about the game is that every time I play it, I find new secrets. I find new places to go, new characters, new interactions with established characters. And sometimes, you know, a lot of this is like, oh, I didn't know I could go through this door, or I didn't know that if you talk to this character before doing this, you'll, something else happened. But sometimes it's just, that wasn't there before. I start a new game, I go somewhere where I've been before, and there's something, a character or something, that definitely wasn't there before, which is very cool. I like that a lot. I'm going to bed now. I'm in Japan on vacation. Ooh, at the moment, and it's 3 a.m. Have fun with the ASMR. Well, I hope I could help you get in the sleepy time mood. Thanks for coming, Aurora Nakai. Good night, and enjoy your vacation. Oh, Japan, so cool. I want to go to Japan and see the Ghibli Museum and go to nature. And that's kind of the main thing, to be honest. People are always like, oh, I want to... Hello? Okay. People are always like, oh, I want to go to, what's it called? Shinjuku or something? Or like the big streets where they have all the weep shit. And I'm just like, yeah, sure, but I'm sure I'd have fun there too, and there's a lot of anime that I like and things, but I'm not as interested about that, you know? If I want, I can order that stuff online. I'm more so like, I want to see the stuff that I can't see here. Like the Ghibli Museum, they have these special screenings of little shorts. I want to see those, you know? Because they don't put those online. That's like the reason I would want to go to Japan. That's another like pipe dream of mine to go to Japan. If I'm gonna go on vacation anywhere, I want it to be Japan. I think it's a bit more likely that I'll go to like France or something again, which would also be nice. I love going to France. Beautiful country. But I want to go to Japan. It's much more expensive though. Although things are relatively cheap in Japan, so maybe that would balance things out. I just went to the weep shit place, Akihabara. That's it. That's the one. The Ghibli Museum is so hard to get tickets for. I'm dying. No. Oh, that's so sad. If I go to Japan, I'll have to make sure to get them well in advance. Alright, okay, go sleep. Bye bye. The weep shit place, Akihabara. I saw one video of someone street skating through Tokyo at 2 a.m. and it forever revived. Demona, I kind of need that video. Could you please... I don't know if you're in the Discord, but I kind of need that video. If you can, please post that video in the Discord, or we can post links in chat. I don't know. Add me on social media. I don't know. I really want to see that. That sounds wonderful. Anyway, yeah, Japan. I'm no stranger to the kind of, you know, idealization of Japan due to having seen anime and stuff. I'm well aware of it, you know, but I'm well aware that this is a phenomenon that I also suffer from, and even though I try to be like, oh, you know, it's just another country, I can't not be like, their streets look so cool, their towns look so nice, you know. Ooh, I want to go to a temple because they look very, very neat and beautiful, you know. I'm not immune to that, and I think that's fine. I mean, that's just how tourism works, right? As long as you're respectful once you're there. I see people go to Japan a lot and like be real loud about things, and I'm like, I don't think I would do that. I feel like if anything, I would treat it like a museum. So I guess it's good that I'm practicing my ASMR voice right now, so I can be quiet like I would be in a museum. But then again, is that bad? Is it bad that I'm like changing my behavior? It's not for me to say. I think I just have to be normal. I'm good at being normal. They're another country and one that has heavily invested in public beautification in a lot of towns and cities. That's true. I'm so normal. That was years ago. I'll drop that vid in Discord if I find it again. Thank you. Thank you for trying, Demona. I would love to see it. I'm just being respectful. I'm trying. That's what I try. But yeah, so that tree, I went, Boss, don't be normal. Be incomprehensible, weird, and mysterious. I'm not broadcast queen today, so that might be difficult. And no, you can't throw anything at me, and you can't use any points to make me change my model. That would throw off the vibe, you know? So I go to that tree. I'm like, there's a tree in the Netherlands. It's not that far away. I can cycle there in like half an hour or so. I never knew it was there. That's crazy. I hop on my bike. I'm using OpenStreetMap on my phone. If you don't know what OpenStreetMap is, it's like Google Maps, but better because it's less car-centric. It's got all kinds of little paths and stuff between buildings and hiking trails and things. It's all in there. It's got like the actual hiking trails, like you can see like the marked trails, the markers, you know, like in which you'd be looking for if you're following the trail. It's all on there. It's wonderful. I think it's got benches on there as well. Free water taps. For the Americans out there, in my country, you can just, the water is drinkable, so you can just go up to a water tap. Not all of them, obviously, but there are like public water taps you can go and just fill your water bottle. It's totally fine. They're all on there. Geocaches, if you know what those are. It does not track public transport, I don't know, so it does not make Google Maps obsolete, unfortunately. Anyway, so I was using this on my bike. I'm cycling over there, and at some point, my my phone tells me, "Get off your bike now, and start walking through the woods." And I'm like, it kind of looked like I could just cycle very, very closely, but now it wants me to just, for like a kilometer, just walk through the woods. And I say, okay, that's fine. I love a hike very, very much. A short hike is one of my favorite games. I've long wondered what would be the perfect hiking game. And wouldn't you know it, chat, it was during this very same little impromptu hike that I finally cracked the code, and I now know the formula to the perfect hiking game. Maybe I'll even make it someday. I'd like to. So, I get off, I park my bike, I lock it, get the chain lock also, I put that on a fence, I lock it, and I start walking. Now I am not wearing the right shoes for this. My cool spiky goth boots recently perished. Well, one of them did anyway. I guess I could still try to get it fixed. but for now at least I can't wear them anymore. It's so hard to find durable goth boots. So I was wearing some more dainty goth shoes. They don't have particularly high soles or anything. They're nice though. They're cute. They're elegant, I would say, but it does not make for very good hiking boots. Still, there I was. I was walking through the woods. I was enjoying some gorgeous views. Absolutely stunning bit of nature there. I posted some photos of it, actually. There was even a tiny little creek, which is special. Those are relatively rare in the Netherlands because in order to get a creek going, you need, slopes. And I don't know if you know this about the Netherlands, but we don't have a lot of those. Not none, but not a lot. And when we do, there's usually not really a river or a lake or anything further up the slope to facilitate the creek. If you're seeing a creek in the Netherlands, it's probably handmade. This one, however, is real and genuine. It was very nice and cute. I got a little video of it. Since we're doing ASMR anyway, you might like some, you might like some other little sensory things. So you can go on my Blue Sky and go to the media tab and find a little video of a creek. It's like 6 minutes, no, seconds, but still, it's something. Anyway, so I was hiking, I was having a wonderful time. I get to the tree, and it was very, very cool looking tree. It had been set fire to, supposedly. That was the phrasing anyway. I would hope nobody would do something like that on purpose. But luckily, it had been saved and it survived, and now it's got a hollow in it, and you can see the inside where it's all charred black, while the outside is still like well and alive, and it's got like ivy growing over it and stuff. It's very, very cool tree. Big, gnarly tree, real knobby and stuff. It's got the roots and stuff like you might expect. It was like something out of a fairy tale, which I love, of course. But after that, I was like, well, I'm already here in the woods, so let's just keep going, right? I just kept hiking. That's when I saw the creek and stuff. At one point, I almost was very brave around a dog, even, because so there was a dog. For those who don't know, I have a phobia for dogs. Oh, voice check. Ha ha ha. It was brilliant, and a slightly toasted iron gimbal into it. Thank you, Jackie. I was so into it, I didn't even realize. And I was so into my story, So I have a phobia for dogs. Oh, Crystal Rose 21, thank you very much for following. I have a phobia for dogs due to various pretty negative childhood experiences. Now I'm saying right off the bat, I don't blame the dogs for this. Each and every one of these experiences is purely due to neglectful ownership. So I should be having a phobia for bad dog owners, which I guess I do as well. Anyway, so I have bad experiences with dogs. I don't think dogs are bad animals. I just have a hard time with them. Even though I know that dogs aren't necessarily hostile to me, I still can't be around dogs good. But I was hiking. I was coming up on a bench overlooking a beautiful sloped. Oops, sorry. I accidentally knocked into the mic arm. I'm so sorry if that sounded bad to you guys. I'm sorry if that woke any of you up. Shh, 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 shh. It's okay. It's okay. You can go back to sleep. It's okay. Wasn't loud at all. That's good. It was a little bench along the path. At a corner on the path, the path was following the side of the field on the side of a hill, lined by trees. At this corner of the path was a little bench. Upon this bench sat a man, and this man, the bench was facing the field, of course, and this man had a little dog with him. It's a very small dog. I wouldn't know what breed it was, but it was small, and it was fuzzy. And it looked at me. Well, at first it wasn't. It wasn't looking at me at first. It was looking at the field, just kind of chilling. And then as I was approaching, at some point it turned around. It saw me. It had big old eyes. It didn't do anything. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let's try this. Let's try being normal about a dog for a second. So I said, hello. And I think at this point the man had also heard me coming. So I think I was like, hello, and then hello, it's a little dog when the dog looked at me. And then the dog barked and then growled a little bit. And then I like stopped and I was like, oh, well then, nope, not like this. And the man picked the dog up and put him on the bench and said like, oh yeah, sorry, they're very shy, and a bit scared around new people and stuff. But they won't do anything to you. And I said, that's great. I'm gonna leave anyway because I'm scared of dogs. But I did say hello to the dog. I had the thought to be, not scared of the dog. I was trying. So, for that, I commend myself. So I kept on walking. The hike was wonderful. I think at one point I sat down somewhere and just kind of chilled for a bit. Just kind of listened, you know? That's always nice. Some of you might have hiked and such, but have you ever just stopped and sat down or even laid down? If you ever laying down in nature, you know, it's something that you think is out of movies, but it's real. You can do it, and it's nice. I've laid down on top of picnic benches and in fields of grass. It's a wonderful experience to just submit to the sounds and senses around you. Senses? I guess that's not correct. The smells and the feel of the wind. You know? It's a very nice time. Maybe that could be an ASMR that I do sometimes. Laying in the meadow together. That'd be kind of nice. But at one point, I was out of water, and then I died of dehydration. Just kidding. I was out of water, and I, before heading back home, because it would be a bit of a cycle, and it was a warm day as well. Before heading back home, I wanted to refill my water bottle. Now, as I said before, there are water taps just out and about. Now, the specific place where I was, as should come as no surprise, was a very popular hiking region. So, these public water taps are not uncommon here. I looked on my app and I said, "There's one. I found one. Good." You know. I went back to my bike and I cycled to this point. I was just a little in a nearby town there. But it was out of commission. It was out of order. And so I was like, dang. And there wasn't really anyone, and there wasn't, well, there were people. There wasn't really another one nearby. I would have to go all the way to the other side of the town. And that'd be pretty annoying. So, instead I went to a supermarket in there and got a smoothie, which turned out to be better, because a smoothie, I love water. Water's very nice. It tastes very good. A smoothie tastes better, actually, as it turns out. Plus, it's more rich in, like, vitamins and stuff, so it's kind of better, you know? Next time, consider a smoothie. And it's a very good thing that I got this smoothie with increased flavor and increased vitamins or whatever, because I was gonna need it. I started cycling back home, and as it turns out, when you're in an area of the country that is very diverse in its elevation and also quite old in its infrastructure or so, you get a lot of paths and roads and stuff that don't make a lot of sense, that just kind of cross over a lot and go which way and go or bend the circle back around on themselves. And even if I'm using an app, I'm having a hard time figuring out where the fuck to go. So I just sort of got lost at one point. And in the middle of this, I realized I was messaging AOHEL about that we were going to play Monster Hunter together that day, because we were. And that's when I find out that she thought it was going to be tomorrow. That is not, well, tomorrow back then, because I'd done my stream schedule wrong. Some of you might know this. Maybe you were like, she's going to do Thomas Was Alone today. And no, it was the day after. I fucked up my schedule. But then I was too in my head about like being lost in the fucking woods to give everybody a heads up about that. And I just kind of trusted that you guys would not care, I guess, which is maybe not the best mindset to have, but that's what happened. Anyway, by the time I got home, I was basically done with the smoothie because it was a whole mess of things. Also, just so much uphill. It's like I already went uphill to get here. How am I going more uphill? Shouldn't the way back home be downhill? Very, very strange. And thank you, Jackie, for the voice check. It was very, very odd little experience, but eventually I did make it home. So this is my message, my call to action for you all. Get lost in the woods with a smoothie. It's a good experience. You learn, you get exhausted, you enjoy a smoothie. Maybe see a bird or something, you know? I used to I feel like this is not too uncommon. Bird watching is like a nerd thing or like a boring old man thing or something, right? Like it's not, but isn't that a mindset, a thought that we've all held, a belief that we've all held in earlier years? And maybe some of you still do. But think about it like this. Who doesn't love to see a little animal? You know? Whenever I see a bird, I'm like, that's a bird. I'm so happy. I don't know what kind of bird it is a lot of the time, and I couldn't identify its call, but I know there's a bird. And that's awesome. I still would love to do a hiking stream or something at some point. I feel like it'd be difficult to do, but you know, I mean, how would I do it? Would I have a GoPro? Would you guys just not see me? I don't want to be holding up my camera the whole time. I know some people that make like hiking videos have like a whole setup where they have a thing around their waist, and then there's a stick, and then at the end of the stick is like a 360 camera. And that seems pretty good, but it also seems like a lot. It seems very involved. And of course, if I'm gonna be live streaming it, which I would be nice, I would like to do like a candid thing, you know, rather than like that thing I did with Bun with the Efteling, where we took videos in the Efteling and then looked back at them and talked about them. That was cute and stuff, but I would like to do a more direct thing with y'all. Really make you, well, I mean, you're not really gonna feel like you're out in nature, but really make you feel like you're out here in nature with me, you know? So I would need to have some way to record it. And if it's like a 360 camera thing, I mean, how do I do a 360 video live stream? I don't know if I can do that. So let's just say it's just a GoPro on my chest. And then I would need to have a microphone. Well, I guess you don't. I guess there's a microphone on the GoPro. But I would need to somehow immediately stream it to Twitch. And I'd be on my phone reading chat. I feel like it would be a very strange experience, but hopefully a fun one. if it were to ever happen. I've also thought about if it was cycling instead. You know, that would be a little easier, I think, because I could just have the equipment on the bike. You know, let's say I have to carry a fucking computer with me. I've got bike bags on the back of the bike, so that's fine. And I could have my phone mounted on the handlebars and reach out there and drive into oncoming traffic.
A.
So I feel like that would be pretty good. Also, Amy and Yard 1000. Thank you both for the eggs. My nose is so itchy today. Oh, and a sippy, thank you. And a stretchy as well, I'll take it in a bit. Ah, that's some good room temperature tea. I grabbed my thermos, it knocked into the microphone arm. I'm so sorry, guys. It felt much further away than usual, very strange. Anyway, let's get some tea pouring ASMR. You guys love that. There you go. I dropped something. ASMR. I'm glad someone other than me uses a thermos regularly. Well, yeah, it's really good to do, because it keeps the tea warm, you know? Like, it's if it falls over, the tea doesn't spill out, and you can, you know, keep the tea for a long time. If you put it in a regular teapot or something, sure, that's cute and, you know, it looks nice, it feels correct, I suppose, but it's just gonna be in the process of cooling down, just like the tea in your mug or cup or whatever you put your tea in. I put it in mugs because I like mugs. But if you put it in a thermos, you can forget about it by accident and then later be like, oh yeah, I had tea, and it's still good to drink. You know? It keeps the hot things hot and the cold things cold. So I have hot chucky and ice cream in there. Not at the same time though, right? Although, isn't that like what a root beer float is? I think root beer is something else, but now I am very curious about what it would be like to put a scoop of ice cream into chocolate milk. People do hot chocolate and ice cream though. Yeah, it sounds like it'd be nice. I'd love to try that out. I should try that out. I could try that out. I don't have ice cream or chocolate milk right now, but I could create it. I do have milk. I'm gonna have to see if I have... I think the only chocolate powder I have is kind of bitter, and I don't really have... Do I have sugar I can add to it? I have powdered sugar. The thing is, like, you know Nestle and Nesquik? We hate those guys. The problem is, they're like the only easy way to acquire like chocolate powder with which to make chocolate milk. If I go to the store, that's the only one I ever find. There was this other grocery store, I'd have to cycle a little bit further to get to it, but there was this other grocery store that sold this really nice, just like a big plastic jar, like a big plastic jar. It was very significant and impressive, of chocolate milk powder. It wasn't Nesquik, it was its own thing, and it was perfect. Such such good chocolate milk, and you got so much chocolate milk out of it. You kind of got too much chocolate milk out of it. I could never finish one of these things before they expired. I guess it's partially on me, but come summertime, I didn't really fancy chocolate milk as much anymore, you know? So then I'd have to buy a new one. Very clever business if you think about it. Or maybe not. No, actually not. It'd be better if you didn't have to wait for it to expire. Anyway, that store got bought up by a different chain of grocery stores, and not even the same one as the one that's closest to me. But they also don't sell it, and they also just sell Nesquik, so that sucks. I gotta find a better substitute. I wonder... I guess I could probably just like order it online. Speaking of ordering online, I've started you know some slice of life anime, like Lucky Star is famous for this, but Azumanga does it too sometimes. Where characters just like go on tangents and tangents and tangents. I'm really good at that. I'm very, very good at that, but I feel like I don't do it as much on stream as I do off stream. I guess it's partially because I feel like I need to stay on track with whatever I'm actually doing. But right now, this is what I'm doing, so now I can go on as many tangents as I want. So, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, speaking of ordering online, you guys know things like HelloFresh and stuff, right? Here in the Netherlands, we have one called Uitgekookt, which means, well, it's sort of a play on words. It basically means like finished cooking, but like, I'm not really sure how to describe it. Anyway, it's a similar thing to HelloFresh, but it's instead of being HelloFresh, it was started by a farmer who just had like excess food, like excess harvest, and instead of throwing it away or something, just like gave it to people that need it, which is nice. And now it's like a thing of like, it grew into this whole company that like makes meals, you know, like by hand, just like makes meals by hand and then ships them to people every week. Now, I was always like, I don't need that. I just have to cook. I just have to get over my executive dysfunction, you know, that thing that's stuck in my brain and can't get out, and cook more. For the longest time. Now this is stupid, and maybe you're in a similar situation where you're like, I just have to get past my my neurodivergencies. No, it's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. You have to figure out a way to work with them. So for the longest time, I would fail to cook and then order food again and again and again. And that cost so much money. It was like between 15 and 20 something, 22 euros every time I ordered food, multiple times a week. That's insane. That's crazy. No wonder I'm always in money troubles. So, now I have this. I got my first batch of them this... I'm not sponsored, by the way. I'm simply saying this because I think it's a fun thing to talk about. It's something that's going good in my life right now, and I'm talking about it. Obviously, I'm not sponsored. I did get an advanced GG sponsorship deal offering the other week, and I was just like, I'm not interested in your product, bye. Which is a powerful thing to do, actually. Oftentimes when I get one of those, I'm like, well, maybe I should give it a try. Wait, did I do that stretch actually? Let me just do the stretch. was I talking about? Right. So I got the first batch of meals. It's 4 meals, and then the plan is still for me to cook 3 days of the week. So I still, I do still cook, But each of these meals now costs about, I think it was $7. I think they cost $7. That is so much better. That is so much better. I'm so happy that I'm not gonna be wasting all my money on another hamburger. Sorry. Got a little too heated there. Hamburgers are fine and all, but like, this is also such a good thing about this. Before, I would cook the same things if I cooked and order most of the same things if I ordered food. Now I tried to order relatively healthy things like salads and stuff, but still when I'm ordering a salad, I would be ordering pretty similar salads, With this service, I don't exactly get to pick. I get to pick from a roster of options that week, but I don't get to pick whatever I want, and they assign me some things at first, and then I can change them. So rather than being like, I want this and this and this, they go, how do you feel about this and this and this? And then I can say, that all seems like things I could eat. Give me those. Thus diversifying my palate a lot more, which is great. I think this is great. This is great for me. And I've eaten one of those dishes so far, and it was very good. I liked it a lot. I'm excited to eat more of that. It's actually crazy. I've mentioned this before. Some of you might remember this, but for a longest time now, I just have not wanted to eat. It's not an anorexia type of deal or something. It's not like I feel bad when I'm eating. It's just such a fucking hassle, I have to go out and I have to pick what I want to eat or pick what I want to cook and then do that and the act of eating is annoying and stuff. And I don't think that'll go away, but I think a large part of that might just be because I was in such a rut about it, such a routine with food, I was eating the same things constantly and spending way too much money on it. So I think getting this real diverse selection of dishes that I didn't choose, that it's just what is given to me, and not spending a goddamn fortune a week on it, I think that might really help me feel less negative about eating. It's still, eating itself is still time spent that I feel like I want to spend doing other things, and the act of eating and the fact that I have to eat instead of eat when I want to, if I want to, I don't think that'll go away, but this'll help, Probably. Sounds like a great system. My biggest issue with cooking has always been that I have yet to have a housemate that can manage to go 2 days without making a mess of the kitchen. Okay. That is relatable, but on the other end. And I cannot manage to spend the time cleaning the kitchen to a point I would want to prepare food and still prepare food. That is completely fair and understandable. I do actually relate to this. Also, when I say I tend to make a mess of the kitchen, I mostly mean that I'm bad at doing the dishes. It's not like food goes everywhere and stuff. Anyway, what was I saying? Right. When I lived in college, when I was in college and lived in the city that I was going to college in a dorm, and I was living in a dorm, that's what it is. We had a shared kitchen, This was my first time living on my own, and I'd certainly cooked for myself before. We had a cooking class in high school, first of all, and obviously sometimes I'm home alone, in my mom's house. So then I have to cook or whatever. But this is gonna be my first time like really cooking for myself, you know? But obviously, if you have one shared kitchen and a lot of students living in the same apartment in the same dorm, a lot of the time other people are going to be busy with the kitchen, or they're not cleaning it up at all, or whatever. On top of that, I did not vibe with my dorm mates. They were loud and annoying and would assume a lot of things, and one of them was white with dreadlocks, and it was the kind of person who assumed that dreadlocks were easy because you didn't have to clean them, even though if you think about it for like a negative amount of seconds, then you realize that that's fucking ridiculous. So she smelled like absolute death. So the less time I spend in the common area, the better. This includes the kitchen. So being in the kitchen often meant needing to get all of their shit out of the way so I could actually cook, and hoping that when I'm there cooking, nobody else comes in and talks to me because I hate all of them. I literally said this, by the way. Like, I was amicable enough as I was living there, because I was like, well, I don't want to have to have a bad experience with all these people by making them mad. So I never really said much about what everything they did was annoying to me. But then the day I was leaving, they were all like gathered or something for me to leave, and I literally just said like, you all were really annoying and I'm glad to be gone, and then I walked out. It was a little mean and rude to do, as someone who had prior to this moment never told them any of my grievances with them. Not as explicitly anyway. But it felt pretty good, you know? Not fully. I had a little bit of guilt about it, but they all sucked anyway, so it was more so guilt about how I handled the situation. It was more so, thank you, Jackie. It was more so guilt with how I handled the situation, and less guilt with how they might be affected. But still, it would have been better if I had simply told them how I felt in the moments, without sugarcoating it at all. Having housemates is an interesting experience. One time my sister, hold on. Delicious. One time I was house sitting my mom's house. My mom was on vacation. Well, my mom and dad, they were still together at the time. But it's not super important. I was house sitting, and another sippy. That's a good. It's just a little too hot still, but it's drinkable. It's a good temperature. Cheers. Gosh, I'm starting to get sleepy myself a little bit. Maybe this ASMR stuff works. Egg. Emily 7 dice. Thank you for your egg. I was house sitting while my mom and dad were on vacation, and my sister came to stay over for a little bit as well. Did she just like live at? It doesn't matter. Basically, I was house sitting. My sister came to stay for a while, but it was my sister's time to prepare dinner. She was like, I'm just going to buy a salad. And I said, she said like, I'm just gonna buy something easy, some ready-made meal, you know? I remember being a little bit peeved about this because I'd been cooking. I'd been actually preparing meals and stuff, you know? I'm pretty sure that earlier that same week, I had cooked for both of us. I had probably spaghetti or something. Not the most special thing, but I love a good sketty. And I had done it. I had cooked it. Now it was my sister's turn, and she said, "I'm just gonna go buy a pre-made meal." A little, you know. I mean, as someone who just described that I have a lot of trouble cooking a lot, I certainly shouldn't, pot and kettle kind of situation. But still, I cooked for you. Why aren't you going through the effort? I know you can cook. You cook more frequently than I do. But okay, it's fine. She's gonna go buy a pre-made meal, and she says okay, well, what do you want? She says I'll probably just get a salad for myself. What do you want? And I said, I don't really know. I don't have a preference. Just don't buy me a salad, because at the time I had a lot of trouble eating salads, and I still do sometimes when I order a salad now. I always try to get a pasta salad, because then the pasta can serve as a sort of the core of it. The thing about pasta, no, not pasta. The thing about salad is I have trouble getting all the leaves to go in and stuff. I don't know. It's weird. I don't have this problem as much now, but at the time I just I physically could not eat a salad. It wasn't that the texture was bad. I just couldn't get my mouth to eat it. I don't know. It was weird. So I tell her, I don't really care. Just don't get me a salad. It's not a salad. I can't eat those. Don't get me a salad. She goes, and then she comes back, and she's I got you a chicken salad. Girly, what the fuck? I had one specification, one single criterion. You know, I'm sorry, I just don't understand. I don't understand why that's so hard. Girly. So I think I just made a sandwich or something. But yeah, my sister just was what's wrong with it? And it's I told you. So that's pretty annoying. You know, my sister and I get along well now, but we've had a lot of experience. First of all, she would bully me a lot when I was younger. She thought I was annoying as a kid, which, to be fair, I probably was, but to be unfair, I was a kid, and you were my older sibling. Of course I'm gonna be annoying. That's how it works. Kids are annoying. And when you're your older sibling, with an age gap of 5 years, there's obviously gonna be a very significant, difference in behavior. Of course you're gonna think I'm annoying. But there have been a lot of experiences like that where I'm what's your problem? Her problem is she has ADHD also, and ADD. So, we can relate to it now, but as anyone who's been around other neurodivergent people a lot, you can probably understand sometimes neurodivergencies clash. That's just how it goes. What's helped me is making salad wraps. 1 bag salad kit, 1 can chicken, make and add chicks. What is CHX? Do tell. And it makes 5 wraps. I do love a wrap, and I love how versatile wraps are. You can put falafel in them, fish sticks. You ever tried fish stick potato salad wrap with some rucola lettuce? I can't recommend it that much. It's pretty good, but it's also not much, if you want something Real simple. I'm talking like real simple. Like it's kind of shitty how simple it is. You get some wraps, you get some fish sticks. It's like 2.5 per wrap, and you just get a tub of potato salad. Ideally, the kind that's got like little pickle bits in it and stuff. And you put it all on there. You put the lettuce on there. Maybe you can even put cheese on there, shredded cheese. Make sure you get Gouda. That's a good cheese. That's why it's called that. It's a very easy meal, and it's got potatoes and lettuce and pickles in it, ideally, and fish is pretty healthy, and if you put cheese on it, that's another thing. So it's, as far as like really simple, quickly made food, like dinners like that go, it's pretty good. You could do a lot worse. You could just eat only fries or an entire bucket of chicken with nothing else, which is wrong to do. If you ever eat an entire bucket of chicken with nothing else, please get better habits, because that's unhealthy. You need some veggies. She's saying this to me directly. Yeah. CHX is just short for chicken. My bad, lol. Hey, good thing I knew what MB meant in this instance, huh? Could have been saying mom binary. Okay, so let me read it again. What's helped me is making 1 bag salad kit, 1 can chicken. Make and add chicken to salad, and then I can definitely see that. That does sound nice. But yeah, I love how much you can diversify with a wrap. What if I eat an entire raw onion every day with all my meals? Well, Dr. Rudy Numpad.
Egg.
Apologies. I had to do a little bit of a burp because of the tea. And it doesn't make for good ASMR. If you eat a raw onion with every meal every day, I think this will have consequences. I don't know what they are. I would have to look into it. But eating bits of raw onion is fine. You have that on burgers sometimes. But then again, burgers are kind of unhealthy unless you get them from a good place, in case they're only a little bit kind of unhealthy, but much tastier. That's another one of my my food tips of this stream. If you've never had a hamburger from a more local place where they don't use just like a patty but like a proper thing of beef, you should. Life-changing. You're never gonna want to go back. Way fucking better. So much tastier. And also, hi Bun, hi. How's the Catgirl ASMR going? I actually haven't been doing Catgirl ASMR. I could, but I'm just so focused on this voice right now that I'm locked in, Like it's like I've put up some sort of like mental barrier from doing other voices, which is maybe scary and dangerous, but it's probably fine. I'm just like afraid if I like deviate too much, then I'm gonna lose the ASMR quality, I don't want to do that. Also, Bun and Dr. Rudy Numpad, thank you guys for your egg, and for the doctor for starting the 3rd egg stack. Who'd have thought that a stream where I just kind of talk quietly would get this many eggs? Very crazy to me, very wild. Eating a raw onion every day will turn you into a guy who wears yellow and makes video games and hunts treasure, I think. No, you're thinking about garlic. Eating a raw onion every day turns you into a green guy with funny little things up here, and you live in a swamp. But onion is so delicious. I love dicing an onion early in the day and adding to every meal. Dr. Rudy G. Numpad, I love this for you. You should absolutely keep doing this. Also, I assumed when you said that you would eat a raw onion, I sort of thought that you would eat it like an apple, you know? But slicing it up and adding it to your meal is much more okay to do, actually, I think. You know, make a tasty sandwich in the morning with some raw onion, with some little onion bits on there. That actually sounds very nice. Although, I guess an entire raw onion for one sandwich would be a lot of onion, but hey, whatever you want. People who make veggie burgers by grilling a big mushroom, 10 out of 10. Oh, I don't like mushrooms, but I do love that concept. That is very, very good. It's not so much the taste, it's the texture of a mushroom that I don't like. They're too leathery, not for me, not a fan. I forget those are different things. Onions and garlic. I often get them confused as well. I never forget which is which, or no, I do. I never forget that there are two different ones, but I forget which is which, personally. Before I transitioned, I lived by a gulf, had and still have big ears, and was envious of my siblings' adventurous way of living. What are we talking? What? No, what? What are we talking? Does that count? For what? Big ears. Envious of my siblings. You're comparing yourself to a character, right? But I don't know what character you're talking about. Take like 3 bites of a whole onion with each meal. I think... No, but you have to eat the entire onion with the entire meal. So I think it's more so take 3 bites of the onion for every regular bite of your food. Green, with envy, had things on my head and lived in a swamp. I guess you are Shrek now. Congratulations. Also to everybody who's here during the break still, hi. Everybody say hi in chat to everybody who can't see me right now. Tell them that I'm not doing ASMR right now, so as to protect them. You know, like tell them like, oh, you're not even... It's actually good that you're having an ad right now, because she's doing death metal screams right now and gunshots with her mouth somehow, like a lyre bird. So you guys are actually getting, you know, you're getting the better experience right now. Thank you. What if we just... Oh, okay. There we go. You guys are being very funny right now, very good. You guys are being so funny right now. I do love the idea of almond break ASMR, actually. That is very good to me. That's very funny. only 5 more minutes until the break. I guess we could also just have... No, that would be mean to the people in the break, in the ad break, if I just immediately go like, oh, well, time for the big break now, you know? That wouldn't be very nice to them. I should probably wait, so they can get at least like 5-ish more minutes of me before we take our 20 or so minute break. I wonder how long I'll actually keep going. Like, I'm sure I could find more things to talk about after the break, but is it necessary? Like, it feels almost a little bit odd to do an ASMR thing and then have 20 minutes of not ASMR in between, you know? Like, sure, I have my little playlist of, you know, more calmer, vibey, lo-fi-ish, not really, kind of music. But I feel like it's less ASMR than this. I mean, obviously. Excuse me. Obviously it is less ASMR because it's not ASMR, it's just music. But I feel like it would hamper the vibe. If anybody in chat right now is really in the zone, then I feel like putting that music on would actually take people out of the zone. So either I don't take my break, which is inconceivable, or we call it quits once the break would start. And I suppose that would be fine. We've been going for basically 2 hours, right? That's a fine enough length for an ASMR thing, I imagine. How are you feeling, energy-wise? I'm fine. I mean, it's not like this is using a lot of energy. And it's honestly pretty nice to just sit here and talk, you know? Not to mention, focus on my voice. This is the best I've felt about talking to people in ages. You know? I hope it's sounding nice. I know it is. I know you guys think it sounds nice. But yeah, it's certainly not due to lack of energy that I feel I should quit the stream today. Watch out, too much Zoe can be bad for your health. You might die of adorable. Oh. Thank you. Once you do your E, it will give you a boost so powerful that you won't be able to keep quiet. That's true. That's also something to consider. So, if anybody else in chat is still awake, do you guys think it's a... Do I need you guys' opinion? Am I just like right? Do I just know best? Am I just correct to say that 20 minutes of music, even if it's calm music, would hamper the vibe? I think I am. I think I'm correct about this. I winsies. I figured it out. I solved my puzzle. So, I guess if you guys have any pressing questions or something, anything you definitely want me to talk about or something while I'm still ASMRing, let me know. And I guess just also let me know. Well, no, wait to give me your opinions. Right now, it's not the end of the stream yet. So for now, you know, tell me other things that you want me to talk about before we round off the stream, if there is anything. Because we only have a few more minutes. ASMR with pressure. I don't think that's how ASMR is supposed to work at all. Well, don't worry. There's actually no pressure. And it's okay. Opinions on Rhythm Heaven? I love Rhythm Heaven. I think it's extremely cute. There are some good songs in there. I'm pretty bad at them. And I wish they had more diverse female character designs. That's my opinion. Oh! Okay, there it is. 5 minutes of cat noises, please. No. That's all you're getting. I have a GQ lore question. You can ask it. I'll let you ask the question, and then we're gonna end the stream. I hope I remember to do my estrogel after I end the stream. I probably should have snoozed the alarm instead. Oh well. Also, I hope the alarm that I used wasn't too intrusive. It might be a long one, so it can wait. Okay. Fair enough. You can always ask it in the Discord instead. Oh, I dropped that skate video in the Discord. Forgot to mention it because I got a shoegaze song stuck in my head. Well, thank you very much for the video. I'll make sure to watch that after the stream. I can message you to make sure you do it if you're afraid of forgetting. That'd be nice, Jules. Thank you. So yeah, this has been the stream. You guys let me know what you thought about it. I thought it was nice. I thought it was nice to just have a entire stream where we just sort of chatted about things, you know? I often struggle to feel like I do a good job at that, which of course is insane because I spend most streams talking for like 40 fucking minutes. But I worry that I would not be able to carry an entire stream just talking, but it turns out I was wrong, and it was very nice to have these 2 hours to really focus on my voice, you know. Let's hope this helps. Maybe I'll do it again sometimes. Maybe I'll find some other things to do. I found this today, it's just released today, a video game where you simply walk through beautiful places in nature and take photos of them. It's just a really nice like sensory experience and stuff. And I thought it would be very, you know, if I were to do more ASMR, it might be nice to do it with that. But of course, it does involve a video game and visuals. And the way I understand it, ASMR doesn't really have visuals. It's an audio experience, audio sensory, you know? So I guess that's my question to you. Would you think it's nice if I did more ASMR stuff? And if so, would it be good to have to do things like play really calming video games while I do it, like walking through a forest or fishing or something? I don't know. Obviously, whatever I choose will not have much music going on, not more than what we're hearing right now, nor will it have like combat or story or anything like that. Just me talking as I walk through a beautiful environment. Does that sort of thing sound nice to you guys? She knows. Gotta go read back now. Oh, and have sippy. Of course, I still have tea, thank you. And what do we think about these ASMR sound effects as well? It was nice. Quick before you leave, give us a quiet. Hold on. There you go. I am very calmed. Good. It was very nice and relaxing. It's always nice to hear you talk at any volume. Aw, Jules, thank you. You too. I needed a calm vibes in these panic times. Thanks for chilling. I'm very glad I could help. That's very nice to hear. When I steal time, joyous calm stream. It's really nice. I felt very calm and clear-minded. Oh, wonderful. Surprising considering how scatterbrained I am. It was nice. I was not able to engage much because of work, but it was very pleasant to have on in the background. Well, that's what ASMR is usually for, so that's good. I get tingles from visual ASMR all the time, but it's kind of hard with just a VTuber. That's true. Well, maybe if it's also a character, you know? Or a game at the same time. ASMR can be audiovisual. I'd love to see something like an ASMR Lego stream. Yes, that I've also heard people say that they would like one of those. Of course, that would cost more money. So if we do that, it would be like a donation goal, I think. Fishing, yes. Rhythm Heaven ASMR. Don't know about that one. I don't know how good of a a choice that would be. Although honestly, having like a lo-fi rhythm game would be quite cute, I think. People are very positive about the tranquil video game thing. It sounds really nice. The walking photo game would be really nice for something like this. Perfect E, thank you. That'd be sick, nasty, radical, but in a calm way. That's what I strive for here on Gauntlet Queen ASMR. If you want my true criticism, always, Jules, always. As a big, huge ASMR enjoyer, the beep boops in the background probably prevented me from really getting into the ASMR groove. And also, I wish your voice was like louder and more gainy in my ear. Okay. Interesting. So, obviously, here's the thing, right? I could have put the microphone closer to my face, but the problem then is that it also obscures my face to my camera, so then my VTuber starts bugging out a bit. So I simply put it as close as possible without having that issue. It's an unfortunate thing. I guess I can try putting more gain on the audio channel, but that would be like artificial, and I don't think it would work particularly well. I've heard of a calm rhythm game called Melatonin. What a cute name! That's very cute. Let me look that up. Melatonin game. Interesting. Well, I might look into that later. Also, hi Blanc. Hi. Thanks for coming. You are here at the tail end of it, but I'm just kind of still talking a little bit. That sounded much more ASMR-y. Good to know. Good to remember. I might try putting the microphone like instead of above, like below. But then it might conflict with my hands. Although, obviously, that's a lot less important when it comes to ASMR. I might do some test recordings with things and send them to you, if that's okay, Jules, so you can tell me what you think. Anyway, this will be the end of the stream. You might see me do more ASMR streams just because they're a nice time to chat it up, for one thing. And again, if I feel this has real merit for my voice, then it's definitely up for repeats. Now, let's go find someone to raid. I'll try to find someone. Should I even raid someone? Cause like, I can't guarantee that whoever I go to matches the vibe, you know? Maybe you don't raid people when you do ASMR. I could imagine that being the case. I like raiding into critter cams post ASMR. I was thinking that. I was also thinking I would go to Q Bunny TV. Or Critter Vision. Does Critter Vision do audio? Oh, no. I still can't do that, because what if there's ads? No. Okay. I don't want to ruin anybody's vibe, so we're not doing a raid today. Maybe not a raid, but a meander. I mean, I can tell you guys to go to someone, if you want. I can recommend Dollop, Joy. Dollop is streaming Final Fantasy 3 right now, for one thing. So you could head over there if you want, but I won't do a raid in order to maintain the cozy vibe. Everyone raid a cozy bed instead. Raid your bed, or raid some nice tea, or something of the sort. Some plushies. Regardless of what you do, get some plushies. Get some plushies and get nice and cozy comfy. If you weren't already, which I would assume many of you are. Otherwise, what would you be doing in an ASMR stream if you didn't want to be cozy comfy? Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming. I appreciate you so much. I hope you had a nice time, and I will see you all next time. Now, there's also going to be. Oh man, I didn't think about this. Hopefully, the music that plays during the end stream segment won't be too much for you all. Try to maintain this cozy vibe. I believe in you all. All right, goodbye everyone. Bye bye.